Okay, welcome to another video on my channel. What I'm going to be talking about today is why paper assets. Now, I get a lot of questions. So permit me for. I apologize. There's a lot of wind today. There's no way of escaping it. I hope my microphone is blocking off or is blocking off as much as the wind as possible. But let's just see how this works out. So a lot of people ask me that why am I so interested in stocks? Or when I ask would-be investors or people who want to be investors, that most of them say they're not interested in stocks, and I ask why. Predominantly, I've noticed it's two reasons. One is they say it's too volatile. The other one is they say they like something tangible, something that they can actually touch, hold, and feel, like real estate, properties, and stuff. And it's interesting. Now, this anything I say here should not be taken as a matter of fact. It's just based on the way I think. You might say bias because I'm into stocks, but hey, just check out what I have to say. And if it doesn't make any sense or if you have any rebuttal, feel free to counter. So here's what I think. If you say it's too volatile, that's true. It's really volatile. But again, that comes with liquidity. The fact that it's very liquid makes it volatile. Real estate is also volatile because it's like every market, every investment has a market and every market has a cycle. So sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. But the general trajectory is what you're looking for. And that's why they always say invest for the long term. When you when you're looking at like what happened in 2008 with the real estate bubble and all other crashes that the real estate has experienced, the thing with that one is it is slower, so it takes a long time for a crash to happen. And generally speaking, in any market, crashes don't last as much as, so the bear market doesn't last as much as the bull market. But a cycle is inevitable. So if you're investing in stocks, what you're looking to invest in is the long term. You're not looking to buy stocks today and sell them in 2 years or 3 years, especially index funds. Okay, I am a great proponent of index funds. If you're a beginner, I try to tell beginners to stay away from individual stocks as much as possible. Index stocks most preferably, and if you can't, maybe really broad-based ETF. I've given examples of those in my previous videos. So if you're gonna, basically what I'm trying to, my point or what I'm trying to tell them is every market has a cycle. The volatility is the cycle. So it generally trends up or trends down. Now, within that trending up or trending down, it has waves, but you're not concerned with that. Okay, you're investing for the long term. That same with the real estate. If you bought real estate at the beginning of 2007, and then by 2009, you're on a suicide watch because what has happened. But then, if you look at it in the long term, it will rebound and it will go back. So that resolves the issue for the volatility. If you invest in index funds, are you looking at long term? You won't mind volatility. You know it is part of it, like what we're experiencing now. The other thing they talk about is being able to touch and feel. True, you want to be able to touch and feel the uh, the investment or whatever asset you buy. But here's the thing. Think about it this way. The only thing that makes that investment yours is the paper. So let's take real estate or properties, for instance. People say, I have, I'm a property investor, I'm a real estate investor. I like it because I can touch it and I can feel it. The truth of the matter is the way I see it. The only reason you can lay claim to any piece of property is because there's a paper or a screen somewhere in a place of authority that says you are the owner of it. If let's take a country like where I come from, Nigeria, for instance. You could have 5 people with a certificate of occupancy or deeds of a land, and those they all paid for it, and they're genuine papers. But now 5 people have claim to the same property or to the same piece of land. Whose is it? Okay, so you saying it's yours or the piece of property itself doesn't make it yours. It's the paper that authorizes you to be the owner of that property. You can touch it. Let's say, for instance, you've been paying, like in Nigeria, where I'm talking about. There are lots of cases of frauds, and Nigeria is not the only one. There are many countries like that where, like I said, multiple people buy the paper or buy a property and they're issued genuine papers, not fake, genuine papers. And then you come and see that there are three other people looking at the land or the property, and you're like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And they say, it belongs to us. You say, no, it belongs to me. You all draw out your papers or documents and you see it's all genuine. So the only thing that makes it yours is because somebody in a place of authority has a piece of paper or a screen somewhere that says this property is yours. Same with stocks. Now you can't touch you can't, in most cases, at least nowadays, you can't really touch the stocks. I do get prospectus sent to me every quarter, but that is not the stocks itself. But then again, like everything else, it is the paper that says you are the owner that makes you the owner. It is not a physical thing. And if we were to take it back to barbaric times or days of the yesteryears, the owner is actually the strongest man. Okay? When I was in secondary school, we used to have a saying called power chop. Chop means eat, and power means power. Basically, it's pidgin English. And when someone says power chop, it means the strongest man is going to get the spoils to the war. That's simply how it works. So if you say it's yours, let's assume we devolve and something happens and we go back into chaos. You have precious metals, you have your house, you have all these things, and some strong man somewhere and his people are hungry, they'll come and kick you out. It doesn't matter what the piece of paper or the screen says, whether it's yours or not. There is no law now. It's jungle justice. They kick you out, and that's it. But we're in a civilized society, and the more civilized it becomes, the more order there is to things, and the more you can lay claim to things with the rest of peace of mind that it is mine. That's basically what it is. It's not the item itself. So this is what I think about people who don't want to invest in the stock market. As far as I'm concerned, it's the most hassle-free investment in the world. I mean, every pensioner, all through your years of working, your pension is being contributed, is going into stocks market anyway. And then when you retire, you don't just get that money out of the blue. It's generally from the stock market. So why not know about the stock market while you're still active? Why not accelerate use strategies to accelerate your retirement portfolio so that by the time you retire, you're not overly dependent on some other entity. So this brings me to the end of my video. What do you think? Okay, what do you think? That being said, does it encourage you to want to look into stock market more, or you're still hell-bent on whatever it is that unless you can touch it and feel it, despite knowing that whether you can touch it or feel it or not, if the paper doesn't say it's yours, it's not yours. That brings me to the end of my video, and I hope to catch you in the next one. See ya.